from what I saw.
People Shaka, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, guys. Good afternoon. So okay.
Good evening.
Yeah. This conversation, yeah. The first thing I would say is I'm kind of not too happy that it's become a home-based versus foreign-based conversation. But since that's what we're talking about, I will chip in. I understand where you guys are coming from, and I also understand where the Simba guy is coming from, or people that are arguing that argument. I've said it on live before, so I'm not going to take my words back about we should hire coaches that have merited a job. It's the same thing I talk about when we're saying call ups to the national team. Now we ask the question, what do you need to have done or to do to merit the Super Eagles job? I think everybody has different ways that they look at this, yeah. But if you look at, you remember when the NFF made poster for vacancy, Super Eagles, this thing. If you look at what they listed on that poster, Finidi has everything that is on that poster. So no matter what me as a fan, or Amos, or Sulaiman, or David, anybody has in their own mind, based on what the people that are doing the hiring said they are looking for, he has it. Now, anything other than that is personal preference based on maybe you like this person's style, you don't like this person's style. When you met this person, he told you, he just gave you more confidence than when you met this other person, or this person was more analytical than the other. That one now comes down to personal preference. What I will say though is that we also have to kind of be balanced in our conversations, because when we do hire these foreign coaches, these C-level foreign coaches, because that's frankly what we hire. When we hire them, we talk about how their CVs are not up to XYZ. And that's the reason why we don't necessarily want them to have the job. So regardless of what the NFF says, we do look at their CVs and say, oh, he has coached only Venezuela. He didn't even do more than 1 year on the job, blah, blah, blah. Why is he the Super Eagles coach? So I can also understand when people do the same for the homegrown Nigerian coaches, because while yes, we want to be proponent of ourselves, we want to boost our own people, those people, in my opinion, are just looking at everything on the same plane, whether home-based, whether foreign-based. If you are going to criticize Pesero's CV, you are within your rights, in my opinion, to criticize Finidi's CV. But again, sorry, let me just finish. But again, that's what you feel as a fan or as somebody watching. What the NFF feel is a different thing entirely. The other thing that I would say is that from today's game, and Sulaiman, in the comment that I made, what I was saying was that because I only was just saying something because you mentioned Southgate. I'm not saying that Southgate was good for England. The English fans, most of them still don't really like.
A lot of people don't like him in England.
But what I was,
Mr. Bring on somebody else. I need to go now.
Sulaiman,
bring on somebody else. Ayo, good point you've raised.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah.
Thank you.
Sulaiman,
what I was just saying was that he had worked up the ranks in the English system. He had coached the under-21s, and England is unlike Nigeria. They have a style, they have a DNA that all the levels of their football work with that DNA. So for them to promote the under-21 coach to the first team is, also because they know, okay, he already knows our DNA, he knows how we want to play, and they believe in him. Not saying he's a great coach or he was the best man for the job. I'm just trying to say that's the reason why I had him. And that's why when I look at Finidi George here, in my opinion, on this interim basis that he's currently the coach, I think he's the best person that he could have chosen on this interim basis, because he was the assistant to Jose Pesero. He's actively coaching one of the best coaches in Nigeria, and they need somebody to come in the meantime and show and just get the team together, get the team to still continue to perform. Who better than somebody who worked under the last coach for the sake of continuity and who is doing well in Nigeria? It is now up to Finidi George to show us that whether you like my CV or not, whether you wanted me to have coached 2 countries before coming to coach Nigeria, I can do the job. And that is what these games are for. Truth be told, I watched this whole match. I wasn't excited. Did he do a decent job? Yes. Did we win the match? Yes, I'm happy. But the game was reminding me of Nigeria versus Guinea-Bissau. We are in control of the match. We are missing chances.
Nigeria versus South
Saudi Arabia.
We're
not
converting. Yeah? We're not converting. The first goal we scored was a penalty, give or take. And then Lookman came on, like you guys already spoke about. It will be nice pass. And then, Lookman scored.
But AyoT, is that as a fault of the manager or the fault of the players not converting?
It is the players. But when it was happening under the last coach, people put it on the coach as if he's the one that's supposed to.
I didn't put on the coach.
Not you. But I'm just saying in general, a lot of people were talking about the coach. Even after the coach left, people were talking. You were using those as points of why he should not have been retained. So I'm just trying to say everybody needs to keep the same standard. But the only thing that would be unfair, in my opinion, if Finidi wins the game against Mali as well, and he speaks with the NFF and he gives them confidence, and they like everything that they're hearing from him, then if he does get a job on a full-time basis, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. It's now a matter of...
You said that on your podcast too.
It's now a matter of, does he do... If when he now gets a job on a full-time basis, it starts to fumble, they will sack him too. But if he continues
everybody go chop. Everybody,
if he continues to do well, then we have to keep on backing him. We have to keep on supporting him. And, hopefully he can be the one. It would be very nice for us to have a Nigerian coach that is doing very well for the national team. Because it is just going to, I feel like it's going to be the utmost bit of pride. Like when Stephen Keshi was the coach, everybody was happy because a Nigerian coach coaching Nigeria and succeeding, that is the best case scenario. The only thing that NFF should not do, they should not give Finidi George full time and he's still coaching Eyimbao. They should not do that.
Exactly. So Ayo, you said it
would need to resign. It would need to resign from
Eyimbao. So, David Nuvex, Ayo, you said C-level coaches in Europe are given the opportunity in Africa. We're asking if their CV is good. Africans do not get the opportunity that C-level coaches get in Europe.
That's what I wanted to. Well, Suleiman, that's what I wanted to say to Ayo. We don't get such opportunities. It's hard.
Not only do we not get those opportunities in Europe, we don't get it in Africa. How many African coaches were at the last AFCON? The pride of African tournament. Most when I was for touchline, right? I remember, I'll never forget 2015 AFCON. I was working on AFCON with Bein, and I was on a show called Locker Room with Ruth Gullit. Everybody knows the name Ruth Gullit. And Ruth was like, "Why are these Africans not getting jobs? Why are they not getting jobs?" And I looked at her and said, why are you not getting a job in Europe? I said, so if you're not getting a job in Europe, how are the Africans going to get a job in Europe? If you, a Dutch legend, cannot get job in Europe, now African they will give job. And that's where the Afro-pessimism comes in. But we have to give our own AyoT. And I agree with you in the sense of the pride. Look at Senegal. They've had Aliou Cisse on as their coach. Even after they fumbled the bag at this last AFCON, there is no hint of where fire him. There's no hint. Algeria had continuity with Belmadi from 2015 AFCON all the way through to this AFCON. We have to, at some point in time, look at our own and say, okay, who is the best out of the crop of ours? And if Finidi is the best out of the crop, give him the job. Players need to respect him and respect the kidney that he brings to the role. I was around Stephen Keshi when he was managing, when he managed the national team. I would say the players feared him. The players respected him. The players were not, they knew go on more. Baba know they play. And Keshi said to me, he said, if you respect me, I'll respect you back. He said, so that's the way I treat them. I treat them as adults, because Baba himself was a former player, so he knows how players interact and how players act, right? Finidi has come from Europe and gotten a job with Enyimba, won the league with Enyimba. We want him to win 5 years of the league before giving the job.
No, see, and Sulaiman,
I'm saying it's to those people who are all of a sudden moving these goalposts when it comes to our own. Look, at the end of the day, we have to draw a line in the sand and start to support ours. I'm sick and tired of watching foreigners who are nobodies in their own country come to our land and be enjoying the largesse that ours should be enjoying. I don't care what tribe is from. Can you do the job?
Sorry,
please, not on the list.
I was about to say, please.
Let us hang. Sunday Lisa should not near that job. Sunday Lisa that everything, small thing happened. Yeah, it's like I'm done. That means you cannot withstand adversity as a manager. Sonny Lisey should not near that job, please. This is not emotional. These are facts. I'm not going to talk about Sonny Lisey based on emotions. I'm not talking about it based on facts. Sonny Lisey left us hanging when things were bad and chucked the deuces for Siasa to now come in and try to manage the whole thing before Genetro now came in. So no Sunday Olise, because that tells us that you cannot, when things are rocky, Baba go take off. If everywhere cast, Baba go disappear.
See,
you go lose
Sulaiman,
guard. Any small thing, guy don't lose guard.
Some people are saying, somebody said Finidi is at most an average coach. And I will say this to that person here. Hold on. Nobody is saying Finidi is the best coach in Africa or he's the best coach in the world. But the truth is that if we don't give him a chance that he's getting now, we are never really going to know his level. Because again, somebody replied, oh, it's not a big deal to win the league with Eimba. You might say that. So do you want him to go and win the Egyptian league? Is that what you are saying he needs to do? Or does he need to go and win the Saudi league? Does he need to go and win the English Premier League? Like, what exactly does he need to do? Because he's not going to coach England. He's not going to coach any other national team. It's either right now he's coaching in Nigeria like he is, and he's assistant for whoever the head coach is, or he gets a chance now. And like I said, I watched today's game. I wasn't excited. I didn't watch the game and think, Nigeria, amazing. But he won. He did a good job. So let us give him the chance. If he impresses, let's say he handles the 2 games in June as well, the World Cup qualifiers, and he impresses in those games as well. If they do give him the job on a permanent basis, there should be no issue with that. Somebody said Super Eagles is not an experimental platform. Nobody is saying it's experimental, but at the end of the day, anybody that you want to bring now, the person is still going to need time to get the team running. The Nigerian coaches, quote unquote, that people say are ahead of Finidi, the Amuni case. I would disagree with you in the sense of I'm a proponent for what are you doing now? You cannot just sit in your house, in my opinion, for 2 years and then come and say, oh, you are the best man
for the national team, and then you come in. I like, and as I've said it, I like the fact that Finidi was coaching as assistant under Jose Peseiro. So for continuity's sake, this makes a lot of sense. He knows the players. He's been working with these players, and he can easily take over. They've been seeing him. They've been relating with him. And it is relatively easy for him to get them moving without having a whole year to, learn them and know them better and things like that. And also, he is coaching actively week in, week out in Nigeria.
Finidi was on ground. The first training
that never coached in 4 years.
Hold on. Finidi was on ground. The first job, the first game that we were short players, that we were all watching Terry Murphy and Innocent Bonke walk onto the practice field. Finidi was there. So Finidi knows all these boys. You're going to bring in a coach that doesn't know them, a coach that the last time Amunike coached this team was when we lost to Ghana in Abuja. That was 2 years ago. Exactly around this time, 2 years ago. A lot has happened in 2 years. Ademola Lookman has grown into a starting player in this national team in 2 years. Calvin Bassey has grown into a national team starter in 2 years. Shemi Ajayi has grown into a player that the coaches trust on this national team. He was on the bench. I remember him. David, remember he was warming up with his rubber band in Abuja. There is no Odio Igalo anymore. Uzo has now been relegated to the bench permanently. His shot maker has been sewn to the bench completely. Nwabali has taken over. So a lot has happened in that window. And Finidi has been a witness of all these changes, all these movements. You guys now talk, say, no, more hand the job over to somebody else, more give foreign man.
They call you American boy.
You're looking like a Gen Z in this your profile.
Shino is getting younger and younger by the day. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm at the same age. I'm going to call him. He's getting younger and younger. He needs to send some of that medication my way. But look, these are the realities of things. And now you mentioned it too, like we are seeing the trajectory. You want us to now all of a sudden bring somebody new, and that person that is new that you're going to bring does not understand the way things are being done. Doesn't know whether Shemi Ajayi plays well with Calvin Bassey or he plays better with Awasiem. He hasn't seen the practice sessions of the different tries that the coaches has tried. Finidi has. Money is another key factor. Kosovo, everything is some money. Kosovo, money no day. We owe Passer how many times? We owe Jose multiple times now we owe him. So this one that you are clamoring for Jurgen Klinsmann or Herb Renard has gone to collect Saudi money before. You think you now be collecting your small money? Stop living in the dreamland and stop the pipe dreams.
Sulaiman, let me just respond to Simbad. I was understanding you earlier, but you're going to make me go against you now. He said if somebody else has the exact resume as Finidi, una go shout. And again, try to understand what I'm saying here. If we went to go and pick Adam Johnson from USA with Finidi's resume, yes, we will shout. Because who is this Adam Johnson that you're just bringing from the USA? Maybe you say he has coached US under 16. Then you bring him to come and coach Super Eagles when we have a Finidi at home. That's what we will say. But again, we have Finidi. Nobody here is saying Finidi has a resume of Jose Mourinho or Roberto Martinez or whoever you want to mention. But what we are saying is that, one, Finidi is Nigerian. And whether you like it or not, it plays a role because he's coaching Nigeria. Whether you like it or not. Two, Finidi was the assistant coach under the last coach. So he knows the players, he knows the team. Look at today. Not be the same three at the back where he play. Probably because he has seen it, he knows why it was beneficial to the last coach, and he felt like for continuity's sake, their first game since the AFCON, where they went the whole tournament playing three at the back, this is probably what works and what would work best for them now. And again, Finidi is quote-unquote, at least based on who won the league, he did well in Nigeria last season, and he's continuing to do well in Nigeria. Somebody said Ogavon knows the team now. He doesn't. He knows them from an administrative level.
And the same Otowado beat Ogavon. The same Otowado.
See, he knows them from an administrative level, not from coaching them every international break for the past 1.5, almost 2 years. It's different sitting in the office and knowing the players versus being on the field with them and knowing them, seeing them every time. And that's also what I'm saying. That's the reason why I think Finidi is a good interim. I'm not here shouting, saying give him the job full-time yet. But if he does well as the interim coach, then what is the reason not to give him the job? It's like you hire somebody, when they give you a job, they say, oh, you're on probation for the first 3 months. That's how a lot of jobs are. And then after 3 months, we'll do a review and we'll know if we'll give the job full-time. Imagine if you now do well throughout those 3 months. Then when you finish, somebody now says, oh, we cannot give you the job because you don't have 5 years experience. But I've been doing well at the job. I've proven to you that I can do the job. So what are you saying? And that's
somebody said the Nigerian league is terrible. Let me bust your head. The same terrible Nigerian league is where Stanley Nwabali came from. The second best goalkeeper at this last AFCON. That same Nigerian league that is terrible. So, I mean, if you guys look, nobody's going to sit here and say Npfl is the greatest thing on the face of the earth. But there's some good pockets of gems in the league.
Somebody said,
I think, Sulaiman, Ayo, I think people don't understand what it means to have a league. It's not about having the whole team come out of there. It's having to have what you just mentioned now, Sulaiman. Okay. If there's one player that we might need, okay, in the middle now, we need one player there that will bring him, that will add value. That's what matters.
The product of the league. How long has he been in Chipa in South Africa? Come on, guys. Like look. The is to want to destroy our own. I don't understand where this comes from. Because look, I live in America. If there's something America is good at, it's propaganda. They will make you think that American thing is the best thing ever. Even if it's not, they will make you think it's the best thing ever. But there's nothing that can touch it. But here we are. We are so quick somebody said something to me about Nigerian media. Somebody in the media was dogging the NFF and the Super Eagles and now claiming that they couldn't get sponsorship to go to the last AFCON. The person now said to the guy, you are insulting the NFF and Nigerian Super Eagles, but you expect brands to now give you money for the product that you say is not good. Why should I give you money to go and cover a tournament for a product that you say is not good? Think about that for a second. You said these Super Eagles people, they are not good. But AyoT should now give me money as a brand to go and cover these people that I say is not good. Why will AyoT do that? Why would David do that? Why will he invest in that? See the point? Nobody is sitting up here saying Npfl is the best thing since sliced bread. But there are gems, and Stanley Mwabali is an example of what it. And look, I have not said anything here based on emotions or facts. He's an example of what a gem is from our league. Because prior to this AFCON, there was no, I think maybe it was AyoT and a few that said we will go for in this AFCON. I lie. Did AyoT did I come on live? I tell you, you guys have come again with this AFCON pooling until we saw Stanley Nwabali in action. Because I was not confident of who was in the back. I wasn't.
Sorry, so Sulaiman, let me just quickly jump in again. I want to respond. So Coach AC said, Ayo, but you know there are people that are good as interim, but not good for the full job. And again, you are right. But the same thing applies. If Finidi does, let's say he coaches 4 or 5 matches as interim, and then they say, okay, we want stability. Here you go. Here's the full-time job. If he now goes and loses 3 matches, 4 matches, and we are not about to qualify for World Cup, sack him.
Facts.
That's the reality.
I will come on here and say, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about Finidi. He's not changing my mouth. He's looking at facts. He's looking at facts. Like Amos said. Amos said everything. Sorry, Nigeria. Something called Key Performance Index (KPI). People go judge you based on, okay, we hired you in January. By June, you still never understand the job. By December, if you don't understand the job, we have to let you go.
Yeah,
it's called
so
KPI.
Like that's it. If he doesn't do
reality of life, there's no about no. You know they do what we need you to do. You need to go. Then I said,
sorry, Klaman, and somebody else is asking who's number 5. Number 5 today was Benjamin Taminu. Okay, so something that I would just say, I was honestly surprised to see Taminu start the game, but that also made me feel like Finidi was probably somebody that fought for him to be in this squad. Probably because he knows him from the Npfl, he's seen him, and for a way to, as a way to justify his selection, and also to instill more confidence in the player. I feel like that's especially the reason why he played him today. To one, show us that, see, this guy, he can play ball, and that's the reason why I called him. And to also show the guy that, see, I believe in you, and I believe that you can be part of my team. You know, and I feel like he did a good enough job today. So that's that. And sorry, Simba said, how many matches is interim enough to qualify Finidi for a permanent role? The question is to you, Ayo. See, again, if this was club level, where we have games every week, you'll probably say, okay, give the coach maybe like 10 matches, you know, thereabouts. But this one now, he's going to coach 2 matches this month. The next international break is only after the season ends in June.
Yeah.
He's going to coach 2 more matches before, I think we have international breaks in September, October, November, or something like that. So I would say give him the 2 games in June, see how he does. If he continues to do well, give him the next international break. To me, if he has coached 6 matches and he has done well, let's say he has won 6 or he won 5, drew 1, or even won 5, lost 1. And that one that he lost is not like he just was clueless, you know, just somehow the team beat us. Then I would say, yes, he has earned the job. That's just the reality. If we go and start saying, oh, we should hire some coach somewhere that has won everything, 1, we either cannot afford that coach, or 2, we're going to get a coach again as on Jose Pesero's level, and then we are the same fans that will come and will shout that, oh, why are we hiring this foreign guy that cannot coach his national team, that cannot do this, that cannot do that. So let's just be realistic
with our, where we are right now.
Expectations, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, name one of our foreign coaches that have coached their national team from the country that they are from. Think about that for a second. But here we are, clamoring for, and Shino said it best, always craving for the coaches they can't afford. It's like you're trying to toast a girl that is not even looking in your direction. Move away. And it's true, like, move away. Play in your field, play in your zone, play in your lane. Your lane is not Hebronad. Your lane is not your Ganklism. You can't afford them. You can't afford the questions that they will ask, the payment that they will ask for, the things they will ask for the players for. You can't afford it. These are facts. These are not emotions. Lagerbäck coached Sweden. I didn't know Lagerbäck coached Sweden. So that's one out of how many? Out of 50. But the point is, think about it for a second. Bertie Vogt and Lagerbäck. Thank you. I did that too. Those two. But think about it for a second. Like, we always want these guys that we can't afford. Coaches that we have no business talking about. But here our mates, Algeria, hired a local coach. An Algerian, won them the AFCON. Senegal hired a local coach, a Senegalese that was the captain of the national team, won them the AFCON. But we shouldn't hire. What did Stephen Keshi had coached Togo and Mali? And it wasn't like he had done with Mali. With Togo, he qualified them for the World Cup, but he didn't do anything. But it wasn't as if Stephen Keshi was a coach at the club level. But we hired him and we saw what he did for our football. Stephen Keshi also invested in the local league. So they back him out of the local league. Godfrey Babuna came out of the local league. They were starters on the national team. Keshi said something to me back then. And shout out to Shino, was the one that actually gave me the contact to Keshi when he was in Cali. Thanks to Shino for that. He said, if I don't believe in the local league that I came out of, then where am I going to get the players from? Because I'm looking abroad. I have to invest in the league that I came out of, that I grew up in. If you want our local league to get better, Pasero can watch as many Remo Stars and Inter Lagos as he likes. He will not understand it as much as we need to say, oh, the one boy did that shark, so they say he did good. More try him. Like this Taminu boy now, for example, we wouldn't have seen him if we hired a foreign coach. We might have played him, but we wouldn't have gotten him. Like Finidi, the foreign coach will not fight for him like a local coach will fight for him.
Sorry, let me just ask a question now, because Taminu, technically, he's not a local player anymore. He's playing in what's this country called? In Npfl.
Tanzania.
Yes, in Tanzania. So, is he still a foreign based player?
No, he only just left now to 5 months. Ayo.
He just got there. They've already labeled him foreign base already.
So somebody said,
I guess if you are playing in Togo, you are foreign base.
Yes, now. Somebody said abroad is once you're outside Nigeria. But somebody said, what do you think of Dessa's performance today? For me, didn't do as expected. And I will say this, Cyril Dessas, he performed about how Cyril Dessas performs every week. If you watch him at Rangers, this is Cyril Dessas. He misses opportunities, he scores a few, and he's good at penalty kicks. That is Cyril Dessas. Nothing that I saw today was shocking. What was shocking was the chances that I saw Osimhen missing at the AFCON. That one was shocking. But Dessas missing chances today was like, yeah, this is what he does. He misses,
In fairness to Osimhen, don't forget the formation we played and the sit back.
Formation don't make you miss one on I beg, Slaman, down.
The one against Equatorial Guinea, that one, yes, that one against Equatorial Guinea. The two against actually the one he hit on the goalkeeper and the pass from Iwobi that one I give you. But it was like, look, if you go back and look, I think it was a Nigerian journalist that posted a picture of Osimhen against Cameroon. Osimhen jumped, and the Cameroonian player didn't jump with Osimhen. Well, the Cameroonian player jumped with Osimhen, but guess what he did? He put his hand in front of Osimhen's face. His job wasn't to attack the ball. His job was to stop Osimhen from seeing the ball. That was his that. To be fair, that's what Osimhen was going up against 2-3 defenders every time. Go back and look at some of the goals that we scored. The one that comes to mind is one against Angola. The run he made to attract the defenders, to open up the space for Simon to knock the ball back to Lookman. The focus was on him, not on Lookman. Even the second goal against Cameroon, the focus was on him, not on Lookman, when Bassi knocked the ball in. So to a certain extent, I won't blame Osimhen for a lot of the misses. The ones against Equatorial Guinea, I give you that. But the boy overworked in that account. He overworked.
No, he did. I'm not, and that was not to knock him. I'm just saying.
He overworked.
The point I was just making was that what Desas did today was typical Cyril Desas. Even if you watched my podcast that I did with Smith, like when we previewed this Ghana game and we talked about the squad, I said the same thing. I personally am not a huge fan of. Let me not even say huge. I'm not a big fan of Cyril Desas. I think he's a decent striker, but I think that if there's Awoni, if there's Boniface, if there's Osimhen, if there's Kelechi, I'll start all of them ahead of him. But it doesn't mean that he's a bad player. If you watch him week in, week out, you have an idea of what I'm saying. So yeah, that's that. Murphy as well. Thank you. I will take Murphy ahead of. Sorry, let me ask you.
Pascal couldn't get the salary for 21 months. He claimed he demanded for GPS tracker and Y Scouts, but never got them. And these are the type of things. If Pascal can't get this, hold on,
not that expensive. The NFF cannot.
No vex. If Pascal can't get these basics, you now want to hire Klinsmann and Herb Renard.
Did you see what this Aston player, what's his name? It's Lizzie that sends the thing to myself. What he was saying about when he goes to Leon Bailey, how when he plays for Jamaica, how disorganized they are. I don't like if Nigerian people should start talking about their own, the story will not finish. So we just have to keep quiet. But basic things like Y Scouts, a coach will be able to get now. Like you just negotiate with Y Scouts, they will even give you good deal on this thing. You will get discounts with them. They know that you want to use it for all your national teams, male, female, youth level, everything. You get good deal. Sorry, but I want to say something. Why, for me, today's game also showed that Finidi is really working hard to be permanent coach. At least from what I saw today, because in a friendly, typically halftime, maybe you make one or two changes. 55th minute, 60th minute, you make one or two changes. Finidi said, I'm waiting until 70 when everything is sorted out, when players are tired, before I'm stopping anybody. He took this game seriously. He coached it how he would have coached if it was a water qualifier or AFCON game, whatever. So the man is really working hard. And that's why I will say, give him a chance, man. If he does well as interim for 4 to 6 matches, then let him get the job. If he now gets the job and messes up, then sack him. That's the way
you guys understand what Finidi did for us. Finidi has now given us mouth to go and yard Ghanaians. Ghanaians that we have not been dragging before. We're going to drag them now. We're on social media now. We're dragging them like Tiger Generator.
But they drag us yesterday. So they drag us yesterday.
After we lost, but we can drag them now. Don't worry, we'll drag them now. They are not serious.
And that's the joy of football. Today is your day. Tomorrow will be somebody else's day. But somebody said Iwobi never had an assist or goal under Pesero, but today he did. Yes, but I think we also have to contextualize things. Earlier in the conversation, somebody was saying, "Oh, God punish Pesero for Iwobi's role in the AFCON," and I feel like it's a bit unfair to say that, because one thing, no matter how big or small people look at it, that Finidi had today that Pesero did not have is Wilfred Ndidi. If Wilfred Ndidi was able to play that AFCON beside Frank Onyeka, I don't think any coach will now tell Iwobi, "Oh yeah, come and be a deep line playmaker." Like he has those two walls. Ndidi is the rock in midfield. Onyeka is the energetic guy that can cover all the ground. Nobody is going to now tell Iwobi to be playing a deep role. So that's a luxury that
just to buttress your point on Ndidi. As I've seen him today, actually gave me some form of confidence in that middle. Trust me. Players that have been over time. The chemistry is there. He understands the team very well. You can see that even in his game in the national team, you can see some form of maturity, like a big man. I'm here. Listen, guys, there's no problem. We'll get this job done. That is what Ndidi represents today.
Not only that, when you have certain players on your team, your level of confidence rises. I think absolutely. The back line, the level of confidence they had behind them previously It's not the same level of confidence they have behind them right now. That's the difference between an Uzoho and an Mwabali.
God bless
and nothing
you.
against
Exactly.
Uzoho. It's just, look, we all play ball. If you don't say you're goalkeeper at Joromi, you know the pass that ball back to the guy. You are not. I'm serious. You are not, because you're like, if something happen back there, just put the ball away. But when you have the conversation, that guy did the lead story, man, nothing. Because remember that goal we considered against Saudi Arabia. The look he did the game was all like, bros. You know why?
Where I leave our goalkeeper alone. But see, somebody here said that, but Pesero had Onyedika at the AFCON. And what I will say is, I don't know why, but obviously, Jose Pesero did not really rate Onyedika that highly. He barely gave him minutes. I cannot defend. I cannot explain that one. Same as Bruno.
Yeah.
But Pesero obviously did not rate Onyedika for whatever reason. And for people saying that, he would have played him, he would have played Iwobi beside Ndidi if he had Ndidi at the AFCON. Maybe, but if he had done that, he wouldn't have been the first to do that. General played Iwobi beside Ndidi. Eguavon played Iwobi beside Ndidi. The role was just different.
Pesero did it too.
The role was just different. He wasn't playing then deep. He was playing as more of,
it was a 4-4-2. It wasn't a 3-5. It wasn't a 3-4. It wasn't a 3-4-3.
Exactly.
It was a 4-4-2.
So the role was different, even though he was playing.
It was as a result of, let's be fair. So the role, the formation we started playing in the latter stage after the second game of our AFCON was as a result of injuries before the AFCON and during the AFCON. Boniface being out, Ndidi being out. Who else was out? Awuni being out. Ndidi being out gave room for Alassane to be invited. Alassane then got injured during the AFCON. So now it's like, okay, I don't look. At the end of the day, coaches go with players that they trust, that they understand that, okay, they might be able to do the job. We don't know what's happening in training. Maybe the coach doesn't like the way Onyedika is putting in the effort in training. We don't know, right? That's the truth. We don't know. He's definitely, look, we know he's a good player, but we don't know the effort he's putting in training. So that was as a result of why the coach decided to do the things that he did. And in all fairness, that formation worked because, like I said, Nigeria cannot open their mouth now and say we're not tactically disciplined. We saw it. We saw it against in all knockout stages. All knockout stages, we saw it. So we can't open our mouth and say we don't have that. That we have. Now it's not how do we tweak the team? How do we tweak certain things? And look, nobody here is saying hand over, indeed, give him Finidi and give him a blanket check. And somebody said, does he deserve the basics? Yes, everybody deserves the basics. Even you deserve the basic. How are you going to get the job done? You tell them I can't hold field or farm, but you don't give me ordinary hole to do the job. Now how I go take hole? Now how I go take till the land? Give the coach the basics. And if you can't give Pesero ordinary GPS tracker and Y Scout, I definitely know you ain't gonna give it to a Nigerian coach. That's for damn sure. If you can hold the guy 21 months salary, we definitely know you're going to hold Nigerian coach.
If Finidi needs Y Scout,
contribute money by GPS.
I have Y Scout account. I can share my password with him. He can use my account.
It's like, look, at the end of the day, I think we're backing up the wrong tree. And this is the problem with Nigeria. We're going to call somebody big man, wasting money. But then when poor man comes to say, ole, but the big man wasting money, we'll call him big man. Like where the priorities are wrong now. They're both thieves. I get it. But why are we treating one better than the other? We're not backing up the right tree. The organization needs to do better. Whether it's a foreign coach you bring in or a Nigerian coach, I'm not going to call it local, a foreigner or a Nigerian, you need to do better. Give them the basic. You want make a call, make a go till land, make a plant cassava, but you don't give me hope. But make I ordinary hole to go do the ball. You want make I now man I go take do am. I mean I fit I go take do am. The basics. The basics. If you can't do the basics, then what are you there for? Because here's the thing, right? You benefit, the federation benefits from the progress. This team made it to the finals of the AFCON. How much did they walk away with? 2.5. How much they walk away with? Maybe millions of dollars they walk away with. Millions. Eh?
No, yes, a million. Yeah.
2.5 M they walk away with. Was that as the result of the NFF or the players and the coaching? Come on. Give the coaches the basics.
So somebody in the comments said do we think Finidi can earn the respect of the players? What do you think about that?
It's up to him.
He can.
It's up to him. It's up to Finidi. It's up to Finidi because Keshi did it. I asked Keshi, I said, how? He said, look, if you respect me, I'll respect you. Keshi put certain things in place. Players cannot just be walking around and be disappearing. You had curfew. It was very strict. During the World Cup camp to Brazil, Baba go downstairs. The boy you were me come down. We were all downstairs. Keshi, Amokachi, myself, Ben Roa, and a bunch of other old coaches. I would stay with them. They were talking about old school stories. You watch players come down the elevator to the lobby, go and collect their Uber Eats or whatever they want to collect, and watch them walk right back into the elevator and go back upstairs. Nobody is going anywhere. Same thing when in Jacksonville. Baba go downstairs. Discipline. You instill discipline in your team because let's be fair, players have so much free time. There's only so much video games you can play. They want to go and explore the city. Maybe they gave the team time off in Ivory Coast now. Nobody drink. When we go drink, that makes somebody go to throw up. Who mentioned names? So discipline has to be there. If the discipline is instilled, and one of the things that Keshi did that I liked, no, he did. Some of the players said they were not coming. Okay, no vex. Somebody else will replace you. Players have to shape up. Players have to shape up. You can't come in and be like, say, hey, they make so much money. These are the third. I play in Europe. Well, Cabo. Now only you go first play for Europe. Players have to respect the voice of the coach. If you don't like certain things the coach says, you can voice it. There are ways to voice it, right? They will say, coach, can we try this? Can we do this? And if the coach is not listening and the coach is not open, then his days are not bad. Because I don't say players do and bad.
No,
the coach has to be willing. The coach has to be willing to say, okay, let's try this. Let's, you have to have an open mind in anything you do. But most importantly, that discipline has to be set. And the players have to respect. And then the FA has to instill the respect as well. If AyoT is my boss and David is AyoT's boss, and David keeps yaying AyoT, you think I go respect AyoT? I don't respect that now. Because I say they choose him from top. I'm saying I'm going to throw jabs every now and then. So I'm going to throw subliminals at him. Has to come from the top.
See, we all went to
secondary school from the top.
We knew that there's some seniors that I think these seniors should tell to shut up. They're not born you and me talk.
Thank you.
But there are some seniors that you know that if I talk back, this guy, what's he going to do? Even his mates, they look at me. So at the end of the day, it's about how you communicate with the players, how you carry yourself. And one important thing is results, because results matter towards the respect.
Coach, no go they sell watches, no go they bring people to come and sell shoe. Like then you lose the respect of the players.
It's those little things. See, Sulaiman, I was going to give an example.
John, they sell shoe, no come they sell wristwatch. No talk say this one guy come. No, that's not your job. Now, if
professional,
somebody else does it, that's fine. But do not be seen involved in it, because look. Players are like children. They are looking for an opportunity to misbehave. Give them the chance, they will misbehave. They will misbehave.
See, Sulaiman, I wanted to give an example. See, the head coach of Toronto FC right now, John Herdman, his former Canadian national team coach. But he said he got into the team, and the star player for Toronto FC right now is Sebastian Giovinco. Lorenzo Insigne. Why did I say Giovinco? Is Lorenzo Insigne, former Osimhen's teammate that now moved to the MLS. And the man said, see, he got into that locker room and he had to realize that Insigne has probably forgotten more about football than he knows in his own entire career. If you look on paper, he doesn't stack up to Insigne at all. He recognizes that. But he said he realized that he needed to earn Insigne's respect. So he allows him give his opinions. He allows him give his this thing. He will say, oh, coach, this tactic, I don't like this. I think we should do this, blah, blah, blah. He gave that room for the player to be able to communicate. But at the same time, when he's standing his ground, he's standing his ground. And the player understands that, okay, I can come to this coach for certain things. He's going to listen to me. He may not always agree, but they now have that mutual respect for each other. And at the end of the day, sometimes
being a good coach does not necessarily mean you're a good manager.
Yes, so.
No.
You know,
it's
management
different
is
ball
a
game.
different thing entirely. Than
It's a
just
different ball game.
Just tactics. So the right person is able to find that balance between the two.
Yep.
You know,
so when I lived in Denver years ago, I managed and I was the editor-in-chief of a startup website. And I said to everybody that wrote to me, I said I have an open door policy, figuratively and literally. Like if you want to ping me, you want to reach me, don't think twice about it. If you want to come into my office and talk about something, don't think twice about it. Why? No matter the idea in my head, it's only going to get better with
added allow people bringing their stuff.
Sorry, this comment just killed me. They said, wasn't Finidi Jersey dragging Jersey with was it Pepe or who was it?
What is these people
Nigerians, none of them forget.
But see, maybe that happened. I think he eventually said it was for his child or for somebody like that.
Yeah, it was for his son.
Obviously,
let's be fair. He's not the head coach at that particular instance.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He could have done that before.
Yeah.
But he cannot try it now as head coach. He cannot try.
Somebody said Sulaiman with the strays. Oluwashina, it's not strays, though. I just they talk, because some things happen. People don't sell watches. They can't sell door. Somebody said, can he sell Odogu bitters? What you consider coaches Odogu bitters? What you they talk for here? Now, shop rights. Shop rights. What are we selling here? But the thing, the point I'm trying to make here is the coach has to have that open door policy where he's not playing my way or the highway. This is not military. This is, you're dealing with people that, I'm sure she said it too, they make more money, 10 times more money than I make, but at the end of the day, I mean coach.
Yeah.
I mean be coach. This is not ego. I mean be coach. Like, I remember, I think it was Other one when he finally got back into the team, he was in Jacksonville too. Some things were going on, and he was now saying to Coach Keshipa, "More try this, more try that." Coach, okay, go ahead. Like, go ahead. Like, no, let's see. We have the opportunity. Let's see, right? Victor Moses had free reign. We are go ahead. Let's see, because there's some players that you are going to give that liberty to. You're not going to give that liberty to me. I'm gonna say what you talk. But those guys, those are your killers. Those are your heavy hitters. Every company has their people that they when it comes to sales, now they be your guy. So guess what? They'll give them preferential treatment. Don't say no treat everybody well, but they'll get certain preferential treatment.
And
they will allow them free reign. Look, all fingers are not equal. That's life. That's life. Finidi level is higher than that of any player. He needs to do is
all he needs to do
is to team harmony and tactical.
Sorry, there's more to football and team harmony, right? And that's where I think most people need to understand that Sir Alex Ferguson was not necessarily the best tactician. He was a great motivator. Like, if you haven't seen the David Beckham documentary, go and watch it.
Yeah.
There were certain things that David Beckham said when he knows when Sir Alex walking home. We know what he's going to say to us, and we don't need to be told the second time. We're going to go out there and go and execute. Now, that's Queiroz, what's his name? Now be the tactical guy. He makes sure, okay, but Carlos Queiroz, what are we doing here? What are we doing there? It takes a lot of managers to be a Don Carlo, where you're a tactical genius and you're a manager as well. Don Carlo, Baba know they talk for pitch, but say they wire them inside dressing room. Ancelotti, say they wire them inside dressing room. But you see Baba they make too much noise for pitch. No, he doesn't need to. You don't set them straight inside. Says on a more serious note, it's a friendly and a positive result. Finidi put himself in the frame. He needs another positive result against Mali, then build on that. Yeah, that's all we're saying.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. There's nobody else saying Finidi is the best in the world. He has done a good job match day one. Look, Pesero lost his first match. We still say give him a chance. He lost his second match. We still say give him a chance. He lost against Mexico and he lost against Ecuador. And we still said give him a chance.
Finidi's God is even working. Because if to say we go play Argentina for this friendly now, Argentina wipe us like 3.
But
people would have been dragging him.
Ayo, the boys, then they enjoy games against Argentina. They always turn up, especially Iwobi and Iheanacho. Iheanacho,
And
just
Messi,
as he was
Messi
flying
did not play
today.
those. And Messi did not play those games. That's
But
because
Messi wasn't
play
good.
those games.
Messi is out
Messi
now
don't play
as
those
well.
games. Messi scored. I mean, after Messi play against us today, Messi has never lost. Messi has never lost a game to us ever. Even on that 20th, on that 20 and on that 23, he has never lost a game to us, including on that 20 and on that 20.
And Temitayo, see, nobody is comparing Mexico to Ghana. At the end of the day, it's apples and oranges, no matter what two teams you want to compare.
Listen, we lost to the same Ghana team. We lost to the same Ghana team. What are you talking about? 2 years ago, we lost to the same Ghana team.
The important thing is for Abuja. The important thing is that the team played well. They got the results. Give him an opportunity. No matter the coach you want to bring in right now. And if we're being realistic, we're not bringing in. There is no coach that can get Nigeria job that would be Ancelotti or Mourinho, or we cannot get any of those coaches. No matter if we say, oh, not Finidi, bring somebody else. That person that we are going to bring is still going to be some coach that we probably have not heard of before. Or
we have Guardiola.
Things like that. And he said we never lost to Ghana. We did lose. We lost on away goals.
We did not lose
the match in 90 minutes, but we lost on away goals.
We lost on away goal.
So
and the Ghana that eliminated us from going to the World Cup was in a better state than this Ghana. This Ghana, I don't know, they were in a worse state. They lost to Comoros. They lost all those small teams. They were whooped in their group. They were so wounded that by the time they came to Abuja, we were so sure we would whack them. That's the Ghana that beat us to go to the World Cup. They lost their first game. They lost, literally, they were whooped. Comoros. How many of you can point where Comoros is on the map? Try. Most people have no idea where they're on the map. That's what Ghana lost to. And Ghana also Comoros. They lost to them for this AFCON. They lost to them again before this AFCON. They lost. This person said different coach. No, it's the same coach that took them to beat us that coach today. Same coach. He thought he was coaching against Eguavon today. Somebody didn't tell him that they don't look alike. He thought he was coaching against Eguavon. They whine. They're not the same. That's the difference. That's the difference. He was the same coach that coached them to qualify for the World Cup. The coach that took them to this AFCON, to this last AFCON, was on the bench with him. The British guy.
They say that they enjoy you.
Christian, it's true now. People just come and say different coach. No, you need to understand. I get it that most fans do not look at coaches and everything, but you need to understand what the situation was. Ghana was in a very terrible state. This is the same Ghanaians that were saying they should have never hired what's his name? That their old coach, that their Serbian coach. I've forgotten his name. The Serbian that took them to the World Cup in 2010. They said they should have never brought him back. You know what I'm talking about? They should have never brought him back. Blah 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 blah. They were wired. Comoros dragged them.
But see, they wait for you on X.
Real MSC said we totally outplayed Ghana in both legs. At the end of the day,
at
the end of the day, Ghana went to the World Cup. We didn't. So who outplayed? And see, for me, the biggest crime that was, I don't know why we're going back, but the biggest crime that we made ahead of that World Cup qualifier was going to Ghana and playing a goalless draw. That was the biggest crime.
That was tactically on Eguavon because he decided to go play for a draw.
It did not look as if the team realized that they needed to score a goal in that game. And Ghana came knowing that, see, even if we can just play 1-1 against these guys, we are going through. That's why, obviously, some people don't like away goals rule, but it was in play, and we all knew it was in play, and we should have been smarter and more aware of that situation. And that's what cost us the World Cup at the end of the day. Somebody says, so everything is result-based now. This is football. Football is a result game.
No, it's not result-based. No, it's not result-based. Go and work and not produce. Maybe they'll give you a job. It's not result-based. Don't worry. Go and work, not produce. They'll give you a job. Say, you're doing a terrible job. We'll keep you. Give you salary next week. Really? Yeah. Everything is result-based. It's result-based. That's what life is, my guy.
And football is very much result-based.
Cannot produce. Go and work. Cannot produce for 1 month. And watch your manager give you pig slip. No vex. I don't mean that, but that's the fact. It's result based, man. Life is all about results, man. I'm sorry. Are you producing or not? You're not producing, man. The road.
He said, if that's the case, why are you applauding Senegal for not sacking Cisse? And the real reason why they're not sacking Cisse is because Cisse has produced results in the past.
Yeah.
And yes, he underperformed now, but they have enough faith in him based on what he has done that he will perform again.
Cisse took Senegal to 2 AFCON finals and won 1. He lost to the host that won the AFCON, this last AFCON. Guy, now that coach is the fire.
See,
are you
and
kidding?
That's the reality. But the truth is, as they love Cisse, if probably he doesn't qualify for them for the World Cup, they will still eventually sack him.
So Belmadi has been. Algeria don't let Belmadi go.
Yes.
Belmadi we win them AFCON. That won them all those matches. They were unbeaten for how many years? They did not let him go.
So Simba when they blame Pesero, you know that Pesero, it was fans and the way Nigerian fans, and those same Nigerian fans watched us play 3 at the back today. They don't complain. I
have not for once. If anybody has listened to me, ever blamed Pesero. I've always said, give him a chance.
Coach AYZ said, if the main squad of Ghana come and play Super Eagles, I'm not sure we can win. If the main squad of Super Eagles,
this is
the
main squad. Semenyo played.
No Pate, no Kudus. I'll give you that. But what of Osime? What of Awoni? What of Boniface? What of Ekong? If
Basi didn't even start. Basi didn't play today. Basi no play today. Mola came off the bench.
Bench Simon. Come on. So if we bring our full squad, what does Ghana want to do beside us? Please, any squad that Ghana brings, they will lose to us. It will be close game, but they will lose to us. As long as
about coaching. You need to put that in quotes. Any squad that Nigeria plays, as long as a Guavon, that's it has to be a Guavon in there. This all I know no play. All I know no play.
All I know, Zedu is not in the team.
Come on, guys. They missed 2 players. I've been Jordan. I've been Andre. You want to go bring 35-year-old one? He said Guavon is not bad. It's not bad. And yes, we didn't go to the World Cup over this same Ghana coach that Kini beat today.
Thank you so much, guys.
Go again on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll go again. No, but say that Monday. Which day? That match.
Tuesday.
Okay. Okay, no wahala. We see you on
at least get draw minimum.
Me too.
Or come for ahead now.
I pray for that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.